I wish to begin by saying that there's too much arrogance in football nowadays. Not that it didn't exist before, but now it's gaining in prominence and is becoming normalized. Look at what the media has been forced to write about over the past year. Take a glance at the Santiago Bernabéu. The arrival of Kylian Mbappe was supposed to build an unstoppable era, but instead, the press has spent months detailing tactical friction, fractured dressing rooms, and a strange reluctance to track back and defend. When individual egos swell to the point where the manager has to morph the entire team's DNA just to keep one superstar comfortable, the club suffers. We've seen it with Ousmane Dembélé's historical inconsistency, and even Vinicius Júnior, brilliant as he is, constantly fighting the crowd, the referees, and sometimes his own teammates, distracting from his undeniable genius. When a player's off-field narrative, contract demands, or social media presence becomes heavier than their weekly output on the pitch, the team pays the tax. This institutionalized arrogance isn't confined to the pitch, either. It stems directly from the top. The leadership at FIFA has increasingly demonstrated a detached entitlement, prioritizing commercial expansion and political leverage over the actual fabric of the game. Governing bodies must shift their focus back to the match-going fans and, crucially, the players, coaches, and staff who dedicate their lives to the pitch. These individuals are the sport itself, not the executives in Zurich. This brings us to a crucial, uncomfortable truth about the state of world football. There is a massive psychological divide between the superstars of today and the icons of yesterday. Think about the current vanguard: Vini Jr., Mbappe, Dembélé, Raphinha, Lamine Yamal, Michael Olise, Erling Haaland. They are staggering talents. But here is the distinction: they were made famous by football. They are products of modern systems, hyper-efficient PR machinery, and a hyper-inflated media loop. Now, contrast them with the pantheon: Ronaldinho, Maradona, Cristiano Ronaldo, Neymar, Lionel Messi. These men didn't just play the sport, they made football famous. When Ronaldinho stepped on the pitch, people who didn't even like sports tuned in just to see what human physics he would defy next. Maradona carried the emotions of entire nations on his back. Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi turned a sport into a global obsession. They didn't just inherit the game's popularity, they expanded its borders. Today's stars operate like high-performing corporate executives of the sport. The legends operated like its gods. But let's talk about the future, because the ceiling isn't closed for everyone. When I watch Lamine Yamal, I see a spark. I see that rare, unteachable trait, that pure, unshakable joy of just wanting to make the ball dance. He plays with the audacity of youth but the respect of an old soul. He is the one modern player I can genuinely see reaching that transcendent, mythic level where he alters the culture of the sport itself. As for Kylian Mbappe, he will break records. He will win trophies, maybe even the World Cup 2026 now. But to be brutally honest, it is probably too late for him to reach that specific stratosphere. He has entered the phase of his career where he is a highly effective corporation and an athlete that seems to get in his own way. The mystery is gone. The romance of the player from Bondi has been replaced by the politics of the brand. He is a giant of the game, but he is trapped inside the machine and the habits and the entitlement he built. Ultimately, football has a beautiful way of outlasting everyone's ego. The money will get bigger, the boots will get flashier, and the social media entourages will grow. But the game belongs to the people who remember that the ball is a toy, not a business asset. We must respect the immense athletic capability of today's stars, but we must also remain critical when they forget that they serve the game. The game does not serve them. Because long after the current generation retires and their brands fade into history, the stadium lights will still turn on, the whistle will still blow, and the world will still look for the next player who can make them fall in love with the sport all over again. Subscribe for more videos where I reflect on issues I find intriguing or fun about football. And forgive me if I sometimes sound biased.